Have you ever found yourself staring at your dog, wondering, what is he thinking? Sometimes he patiently licks your feet, drags his butt across the floor like he's up to something mischievous, or stretches every time you walk into the room, and all you can do is laugh, because honestly, you have no idea what's going on. These seemingly odd behaviors are actually your dog's way of trying to say something, through the instinctive and emotional language of a creature who can't speak in words. They're not just random reflexes. They are subtle signs of love, trust, and even deep emotional or physical needs that we often overlook. In this video, we'll explore and decode each of these quirky habits, not just to understand what's really going on, but to listen, connect, and respond with the kind of love that truly makes a difference. And if you're someone who wants to build a deeper bond with your dog every single day, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, so you won't miss more heartfelt and meaningful content like this. Let's begin with one behavior you've probably seen countless times, but may have completely misunderstood. The moment you open the door and step inside, before you can even put your bag down, you're greeted with an enthusiastic leap from your dog. While this behavior can be a bit overwhelming, especially with larger dogs, the message behind it couldn't be more heartwarming. I missed you so much. Dogs don't understand human manners. They don't know how to shake hands or bow politely. What they do know is this: jumping up brings them closer to your face, where your scent, your emotions, and your connection are the strongest. It's a behavior rooted in puppyhood, when they would jump to lick their mother's face, to seek attention or food. Now, they're just trying to grab a bit of affection from you. If this behavior becomes a problem, especially when guests come over, don't scold them. Instead, stay quiet, turn away, and only give attention once they've calmed down. With patience, your dog can learn how to show love without knocking anyone over. And then, there are those moments when you're relaxing, and suddenly, your dog starts chasing his tail like a whirlwind. It's hilarious to watch, but if it happens too often, pay attention. For puppies, tail chasing is usually just a fun game. Their tail is like a moving toy. But for adult dogs, especially those lacking physical or mental stimulation, this behavior might be a sign of boredom, stress, or even anxiety. Dogs can't scroll through TikTok or read a book like we do. They spin in circles to burn off energy or to soothe themselves. Try taking your dog outside more often, let them play with other dogs, or offer mentally stimulating toys. A busy brain usually means that tail will get a well-deserved break. And if you've ever witnessed your dog suddenly zooming around the house like a tornado, you've met the famous zoomies. No, it's not a system glitch. It's a real phenomenon with a scientific name, FRAPS, or frenetic random activity periods. Dogs often explode with energy after moments of restraint, like after a bath, a vet visit, or just being stuck indoors all day. But sometimes, it's simply their way of expressing pure, unfiltered joy, the excitement of being outside, playing, or just seeing you. If your home has enough space, let them run safely. If not, take them to a park or open yard. A little burst of wild energy in the right place is much better than a shredded sofa, don't you think? There's also that odd behavior during a walk. Right after your dog finishes doing his business, he suddenly starts scratching at the ground with intensity. You might think he's trying to cover up his work, but that's not entirely true. In fact, this is your dog's way of leaving a personal mark, like carving his name into an ancient wall. Dogs have scent glands in their paw pads, and by scratching the ground, they're releasing a unique smell, kind of like a scent-based business card for other dogs to pick up. It's not just about the smell. The visible scratch marks are a visual signal that says, "I was here." Both male and female dogs do this as a natural form of communication and territorial marking. If it happens frequently, there's no need to stop them. Just make sure they're not doing it on your living room carpet. What about when your dog licks your feet? That cold, wet sensation can feel strange or even a little gross for many people. But in a dog's world, this behavior is rich with meaning and emotion. Dogs have a special organ called the Jacobson's organ, which allows them to both smell and taste scents. And your feet? They carry a wealth of information through sweat glands, hormones, and pheromones. More than that, licking helps them feel close to you. It's a way to express love, to bond, or sometimes simply to get your attention. If you've just come home after a long day, licking your feet might be your dog's way of asking, "Where have you been today? Are you okay?" However, if this behavior becomes excessive or is paired with signs of anxiety, it might be time to help your dog release pent-up energy, or consult a behaviorist. Licking is a message, but the real reason lies deeper, in emotions they can't put into words. If licking feet is their way of communicating, there's another behavior that often leaves people exclaiming, "Oh no," and that's when a dog eats poop. As disturbing as it sounds, this isn't as rare as you might think. The behavior is called coprophagia, and it can actually trace back to early puppyhood. Mother dogs often clean up after their puppies by eating their waste, keeping the den clean and hygienic. Puppies observe this and sometimes imitate it. Later in life, if a dog is in a stressful environment, lacking stimulation, or simply bored, they might return to this behavior as a coping mechanism. Sometimes, they also do it to get your attention, since your reaction is usually dramatic. The solution is to calmly identify the root cause. It might be a nutritional deficiency, lack of mental engagement, or hidden anxiety. Give your dog a clean space, meaningful interaction, and, if needed, don't hesitate to ask your vet for guidance. But not all behaviors are unpleasant. Sometimes you'll witness something so tender, it stops you in your tracks. Your dog lying on his back, limbs stretched out, belly completely exposed. It's not just an adorable sleeping position. It's a declaration. I feel completely safe. In the dog world, the belly and throat are among the most vulnerable areas. A dog only exposes them when they fully trust you and feel no threat in their surroundings. This posture also helps regulate body temperature, especially on hot days, as the less furry skin allows heat to escape more easily. Next time you see this moment, don't just smile and walk past. Sit down beside your dog, gently rub their chest or neck. That's your way of saying, "I love and trust you too." That feeling of safety is also why many dogs love to lie under the sun. Some people joke that dogs sunbathe because they want to be like cats, but the truth is, it's a completely natural instinct. Dogs have a higher body temperature than humans, and sunlight helps them reach a comfortable, soothing warmth. But it's not just about staying warm. The sun provides several health benefits, from improving blood circulation by dilating blood vessels to easing muscle and joint pain, especially in older dogs. Sun exposure also helps boost melatonin production, a hormone that improves sleep quality. However, it's important to watch closely. If your dog starts panting heavily, lies in the sun too long, or shows signs of fatigue, guide them to the shade and offer some water. Warm sunshine is a friend, but without moderation, it can quickly become harmful. Now, from sunshine, let's return to your eyes. Those eyes your dog might stare into for long moments, even during the most private times, like when you're using the bathroom. Many people find this behavior puzzling or even a bit creepy, but it carries more meaning than you might think. When a dog is relieving itself, it's in a vulnerable position. That unwavering gaze isn't curiosity. It's a silent plea for protection. In wild packs, vulnerable members are guarded by others while they're distracted or off guard. So when your dog looks at you during these moments, it's essentially saying, "Please watch over me." There's no need to overreact. A gentle glance, or simply staying nearby, is often enough to reassure them. It's a small gesture, but one that strengthens your bond with your dog. It's a quiet trust, spoken without words, yet deeply powerful. Sometimes that trust manifests in more physical ways, like when your dog cuddles right up against you while sleeping. They press their back into you, breathing softly, maybe even letting out little sighs or dream sounds. It's not because they lack space. It's because you are their safe place. Since puppyhood, dogs have slept close to their mother and litter mates to stay warm and feel connected. As they grow up, they replace their mother with you. When your dog curls up against you at night, it's a clear sign they feel loved, protected, and deeply bonded. If it gets a little cramped, feel free to gently adjust their position, but don't push them away harshly. To them, this is the most intimate moment of the day. Of course, not every moment is cozy cuddles. There are also times when your dog suddenly trembles or shivers at the sound of thunder, fireworks, or even a vacuum cleaner. For us, these are just loud noises, but for dogs, whose hearing is many times more sensitive, it's a full-blown soundstorm. Shaking, flinching, or running to hide are natural survival responses, similar to how you might react if you heard a sudden loud bang in the middle of the night. To your dog, these sounds are unpredictable and uncontrollable. Their sympathetic nervous system kicks in immediately, heart racing, breathing fast, muscles tensing. Watch for these reactions and step in to comfort them. A gentle hug, a cozy hideaway, or just your calm presence can help ease their nerves. Don't try to force your dog to get used to the noise. Fear, just like in humans, is not something that can be trained away with pressure. From sound to movement, one behavior that often worries dog owners is when their dog shakes their head repeatedly. At first, it might seem harmless, but if it happens frequently, it could be a sign that something's wrong with their ears. Head shaking is a natural reflex to get rid of discomfort, often caused by a foreign object in the ear, an infection, or a weather-related allergy. Sometimes, a buildup of wax or moisture after a bath can also lead to itchiness. Check your dog's ears with a quick visual inspection. Is there a strange odor, redness, or swelling? If so, don't attempt to treat it with human ear drops. Take your dog to the vet for a proper checkup. The ears are a sensitive area, and frequent head shaking is often a silent signal of discomfort they're struggling to cope with on their own. Once your dog feels better, you might catch them doing something both hilarious and puzzling, carrying objects around the house and hiding them in the oddest places, under pillows, behind the sofa, or even inside the laundry basket. This isn't just playful mischief. It's actually a leftover survival instinct. In the wild, dogs' ancestors used to hide food or prized items to protect them from being stolen. Today, that instinct shows up in the form of hiding toys, slippers, or anything they consider valuable. Instead of scolding, take a closer look. What is the item? Does it smell like you? If so, it might be your dog's way of keeping a piece of you close, even when you're away. And if you'd rather not lose your favorite socks to some mysterious corner of the house, provide your dog with designated toys they can carry and hide to their heart's content. There's another behavior many dog owners have witnessed, one that pulls at the heartstrings. It's the soft, quiet whining when your dog is left alone. The sound may not be loud, but it's enough to make your heart ache, imagining them waiting behind the door for your return. Dogs are pack animals, and separation from someone they love can create feelings of loneliness and insecurity. Whining is their way of self-soothing or trying to call you back. If left unaddressed, it can escalate into separation anxiety, leading to non-stop barking, scratching at doors, or even destructive behavior. Start by practicing short periods of separation. Give them chew toys or play calming music when you leave. If the behavior continues, consult a professional dog trainer or behaviorist, because excessive attachment, while touching, can become an emotional burden for both dogs and humans. And then, on a beautiful sunny day, you might find your dog rolling blissfully in the grass, rubbing their body into the dirt, or worse, into a dead animal. You shout, "That's disgusting!" but your dog looks absolutely thrilled. This odd habit goes back to their wild roots. Dogs used to roll in strange smells to mask their own scent and approach prey undetected. Today, that instinct still exists, though it's less about hunting and more about expressing freedom and feeling in control of their environment. Don't scold them. They're not trying to get dirty on purpose. Just give them a gentle bath, use mild soap, and maybe steer them toward cleaner patches of grass next time. And if you can't avoid it, try to smile. At least they're living fully, joyfully, and true to their nature. Then there are the silent behaviors, the ones that leave you tilting your head and wondering, what on earth is he doing? One such moment is when your dog suddenly starts barking at the mirror or the TV screen. This typically happens with younger dogs who haven't had enough experience to understand that reflections aren't real. When they see movement, especially their own reflection or another animal on screen, they react as if it's a potential threat. That barking is a natural response, guarding their territory or expressing uncertainty toward something unfamiliar. The best approach is not to panic or make a fuss. Instead, gently redirect their attention with a toy or a familiar action. Over time, they'll learn that the mirror doesn't bite, and the barking will stop. From reacting to mirrors to something even more subtle, you might sometimes notice your dog panting heavily, even when it's not that hot. Don't be too quick to assume it's just tiredness. It might actually be their way of self-soothing. Panting helps dogs regulate their body temperature, but it can also be a reflex triggered when the nervous system is activated due to stress, fear, or overstimulation. In noisy or unfamiliar environments, or when left alone, you may notice faster breathing and a tongue hanging out more than usual. Pay attention to the surroundings. If your dog is panting in an unfamiliar space, try bringing them back to somewhere familiar. If you're on a walk, slow down and speak to them gently. Sometimes, just your presence is enough to slow every racing heartbeat. And what about vacuum cleaners? A sworn enemy of many dogs. The moment you turn it on, your dog might bolt, bark furiously, or hide behind the sofa as if an earthquake just hit. It's not surprising. High-frequency vibrations and loud sounds from vacuum cleaners go far beyond a dog's comfort zone. These noises aren't just unpleasant. They can feel threatening. You can help your dog get used to it by turning the vacuum on from a distance, avoiding forced proximity, and rewarding calm behavior. But more importantly, respect their feelings. If you need to clean, simply take your dog for a walk. Your home gets cleaner, and so does their mind. In more peaceful moments, you may witness something that melts your heart. Your dog quietly sitting with its back turned toward you. It's not a sign of indifference or anger. It's actually the deepest form of trust. In the dog world, turning their back is a gesture of confidence. It means they don't feel threatened, don't need to keep an eye on you, and are ready to watch over what's ahead. Like a loyal guard, Your dog faces forward because it knows you're safely behind them. That small gesture is a powerful symbol of a bond that needs no words. Next time you see it, gently place your hand on their back, a way to say, "I've got your back too." And finally, one of the most common but misunderstood behaviors, when your dog stretches every time you come home. It's not just a casual stretch after a nap. It's a deeply emotional gesture. That full-body stretch, lowering the front while keeping the back raised, also known as the play bow, is your dog's way of saying they're excited, inviting you to play, and telling you, "I'm so happy you're back." It's a silent greeting, a joyful welcome you can respond to with eye contact, a soft voice, or a few minutes of play. In that moment, all the weariness of the day fades away, because you know there's a little creature who waited just to stretch and smile when they saw you. As you can see, every behavior, whether strange, funny, or confusing, is your dog's way of trying to communicate, love, and connect with you. They don't know how to speak or write, but every lick, bark, whimper, and glance while you're in the bathroom is a language full of emotion. Understanding that turns you from just a pet owner into a true companion, someone your dog trusts enough to give their entire short, beautiful life to. If any of these behaviors feel familiar, leave a comment and share the one that touched your heart the most. And if you want to dive deeper into the signs that show how much your dog truly loves you, watch the next video below. You might be surprised to learn there are signs that your dog loves you even more than you ever imagined. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video that helps you understand and love your dog better every single day.